Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Offices Adda 24/7. So first of all, let me know how are you all, and also let me know, do you watching these series only on Offices Adda 24/7 on regular basis or not? So let's start today's session. As you can see, I have here the module A and the names of the units that is there in the module A. So why I have these in the first page or in the front page, the reason behind it, because we have started a Sankalp series in which we were discussing every day one particular unit related to your Indian economy, Indian financial system, module A, and we have already completed 10 chapters. So today we are going to talk about the 11th chapter, that is your issues facing Indian economy. You can see that's the 11th chapter, and after discussing this 11th chapter, we will be completing the module A, each and every topic with the topic wise MCQ and explanation. Okay, so this is the session which is happening only on Offices Adda 24/7 in the morning 7:30 a.m. and I'm your mentor Amanjot Kaur for Indian economy, Indian financial system as well as for PPB. So if you have not watched any video yet, do make sure go to the playlist and check all the session that we have taken from the, we have already taken or we have already recorded for all of you, provided you in the recorded form from the first class till the 10th. So let's start the session. In this particular session, what we are going to do, we are going to discuss the certain questions on the basis of your topic, that is issues facing Indian economy, and then we are going to discuss the explanation of the topic also. Okay, so before moving towards the question, first let me I want to tell you all that this Sankalp series, now we are starting the 50 days 50 series, or 50 days 50 series we have started. It means now for the JAIIB October paper we have 50 days left only. So every day we are coming up with more number of questions from a particular chapter of you, so that you will be more prepared for your paper. So you will have a practice already, because I know after saying so many times bankers are only going to give the mock test at the time of paper. Okay, that's why we have started 50 days 50 series. It means every day we are coming up with a particular set of questions in which we will be having a practice online here. Okay, so let's start. Let's first understand about the topic and then we will go with the explanation. So first of all, if I talk about the jobless issues Indian economy is facing. First of all, Indian economy is facing the jobless growth. So it's not like India is facing this issue from now onwards. It was the all-time issue of Indian economy. Every time if we talk about Indian economy, we have studied at the school time also that India is a country of job seekers, not a job creators. So India is a kind of country where all the people are wanting job. Nobody is creating job. Nobody wants to create the job. So India is a kind of country which is a job seekers country, not a job creators country. So the same thing is happening. That's a jobless growth in the country. Now how to define jobless growth? Simply, if you talk about the growth means economic growth. Economic growth means increase in the production. So whenever the production of your country increases, that's the increase in the GDP. And whenever the GDP increases, it means that's the economic growth. So the growth will be there in the economy when the production is increasing, when the GDP is increasing. It directly says that the economy is growing. But what about the development? What about the jobless growth? India is having jobless growth. How you can say that India is having jobless growth? Because if we talk about economic development is a combination of economic growth plus the economic welfare. Okay, now what is economic welfare? Economic welfare is the positive changes that can be seen in the economy because of the rise in the GDP, like infrastructure development, that's a positive change. Then employment generation, that's a positive change. Then less poverty in the country, poverty is reducing, that's a positive change. Living standard of people is rising. Living standard of people is rising. Living standard means the way of living of people. The livelihood of people is becoming better. The literacy rate of the country is increasing. It means obviously people have more money, they are having much more jobs and etc. So they will be literate. So if these positive changes can be seen because of what? Because of the increase in the GDP. Now this creates a growth with the jobs. Because if the production is increasing, you need members to produce the goods. Now you need laborers. It's increasing the employment generation. So this is how the country will face the economic development. The country will grow with the job opportunities. But now what's happening in the country? GDP is rising, but employment not. Poverty is not reducing. Living standard of people is not rising. Literacy rate is not rising. Infrastructure development is not is there in the country. So this is known as a jobless growth situation. When the production is rising, but it's not increasing the jobs in the economy. Production is rising, but it is not helping you to create any positive change in the economy that will give you the economic development. So this is the situation of India. Apart from that, India is also facing the another situation that is known as high inflation plus high unemployment situation. High unemployment situation. So you can see inflation is rising. It means the goods and services are keep increasing their prices. So goods and services are becoming costly day by day. At the same time, the unemployment is rising. So prices of goods and services are increasing and unemployment is also increasing. Now this together creates a situation that is known as stagflation. So India is facing this situation since 2018-19 financial year, where the inflation, unemployment, both are rising. And that's the worst economic situation for any economy, because the goods and services are getting costlier and the people do not have jobs. So how they will survive? They will not be able to have the cost of living. So they will not be able to survive in the economy. So this kind of situation is there in the India. And apart from that, after the COVID-19 pandemic, much more bigger issue we are seeing at the global level, supply chain disrupted. Apart from the global level supply chain disrupted, we have also faced a situation in which all countries are facing high inflation and high unemployment situation. And India will take at least 13 years, minimum 13 years to overcome these kinds of issues. So these all are the issues that Indian economy is facing. Okay, now let's start with the first question, and that is asking about, as per the World Inequality Report, the top 10% of Indians earns dash of the national income. So you know, because of the issues we are facing, we have a lot of disparity in the country, we have a lot of inequality in the country. Gender inequality is there, income inequality is there, there is a disparity in the distribution of wealth. So when we talk about the 100% population of a country and 100% national income of a country, this is a population, this is a national income. So they are not divided as per the kind of a shareholding or kind of a percentage that everybody will get the funding. Hana, that's not the way this distribution of wealth is working. So only the top 10% population of our country is taking more than 50% of national income. So you can see options we have here: 27, 37, 47, 57. So I said already more than 57. It means more than 50, it means 57%. So you can see only the 10% population of your country is having more than half of the national income with themselves. It means 10% population is the kind of a population which is earning 75% part of our national income. So this is the distribution of wealth in the country. This is the income inequality, and that's what the World Inequality Report has given us the data. So this is the first issue Indian economy is facing. Like distribution of wealth have a lot of disparities. Now, India needs to prioritize the development of world-class infrastructure in health or in education. So it's very important India have to prioritize this situation in which India have to develop a world-class infrastructure. It should be developed in health sector or an education sector. So the right answer here will be B option, that India have to give the priority to develop a world-class infrastructure for the education sector, and as well as India already introduced the national education policy, because education sector right now needs maximum priority to be developed. Because we have a human resource, but we have unskilled human resource. They are not in the way that is required to the country to develop the economy, to help the economy to survive or to grow. So if we talk about that, India became the most populous country in the world, but still India is not having a kind of population which is required to survive, which is required to grow in the economy. So this issue we are facing in the country, and that's why we have seen here that we need the education sector to be developed. Now, as per the Planning Commission estimates per 2011-12, percentage of population below poverty line in the rural area is. So you all have heard about Planning Commission. We have discussed this also. Planning Commission used to be the planning body of Government of India, which used to provide the data on the poverty. On the basis of what? Planning Commission used to create committees, task force, study groups, which used to give us the data that how much population is poor. On the basis of the monetary value, always the task force, the committees of the Planning Commission have given us the poverty in form of a monetary value. Like we know who is poor, the person who is not capable of fulfilling his or her basic needs because of the unavailability, or because of the person is unable to afford them. So always the Planning Commission committee or task force used to say that if you have this amount of money, then you are not poor. If you do not have this amount of money, then you are poor. So always we get the definition of poverty in form of monetary value. But in 2010, multidimensional poverty index was introduced. And this index said that the people who are poor, they are not only facing the problem of not having money, they are also facing a multiple types of disadvantages. They are facing disadvantages in the multiple dimensions. Like they do not have any kind of asset. They do not own refrigerator or cooler or let's say for example cycle or bike or fan or anything else. So a lot of types of dimensions are there in which they face the loss apart from not having money with them. So that's what, or that's where this way of defining monetary, this way of defining poverty always in the monetary value has been changed in the 2010 by the multidimensional poverty index. Okay, so here the Planning Commission gave us the data that in the rural area around 25.7% population is poor. They are living below poverty line. Below poverty line used to be decided by a certain amount of money value. Okay, that have to be there with the public so that they will be fulfilling their basic needs. If you do not have that money, you are a below poverty line person. Okay, this used to happen. So in the rural area, obviously the poverty used to be more comparative to the urban area. Urban area used to have around 13%, but the rural area have here 25.7%. Okay, because in the rural area you do not have job opportunities. In the rural area you do not have skilled laborers. That's why there is a poverty more. As per RBI's report on currency and finance, it will take India more than dash to recover from the COVID-19 losses. So as I have told you, India, after knowing that IMF said India is the fastest growing economy in the world, still India is facing loss. Still India will take a certain number of years to recover from the COVID-19 pandemic. So why IMF is saying that India is the fastest growing economy in the world? Because comparatively, India is growing more. But in case, if you compare yourself by your economy that used to happen before COVID-19, after checking that, RBI has said that India will recover by the year 2034-35. And it will definitely going to take more than 13 years, to recover from the COVID-19 losses. So this was the year 2034-35 given by RBI on its report on currency and finance 2021-22. Okay, so this was the situation that we have talked about, that India will take more than 13 years to recover from the COVID-19 losses. But as per World Bank, IMF, India is the fastest growing economy in the world. Second, jobless growth can be caused by a variety of economic factors, including dash in a growing economy. Structural factors, stringent labor laws, stronger reliance on capital-intensive industries. So what do you think, which of the following is correct? So it's very obvious jobless growth is there, which are the factors because of which you are facing jobless growth. So jobless growth means production is increasing, GDP is increasing, but the no positive change will be seen in the infrastructure, poverty, unemployment, etc. situations. Okay, so the right answer is all are the factors, structural factors, stringent labor laws. Yes, we have a very strict labor laws. Also, a stronger reliance on the capital intensive industry we have. So the right answer is D option. All are the reason because of which we are facing the jobless growth. Now, sorry, India has one of the dash world's growing economies. It also has one of the most dash society. So this I have told you, like according to IMF, India is the world's fastest growing economy, right? So it means the right answer cannot be A or C because it is saying it's the slowest economy. No, India is the fastest growing economy. But what about the inequalities in the country? We have a less inequality or a major inequality. So it's very obvious we are the most unequal society. We have the most unequal society in the world. So fastest growing economy India is, but it has what? It has the unequal society, most unequal society. Okay, so right answer is D. Next question we have, migration is often the outcome of a series of factors that are worsened by changing environmental condition as well as developmental and demographic situation. What are those factors? So what is migration? When the people are moving from one place to another place just to survive, just to have a better livelihood, just to have a better living condition and opportunities, that is known as migration. Let's say I used to live in a certain rural area, but there was no job opportunities for me. So I have to come to Gurugram, I have to settle down here so that I will be able to make my livelihood better, to have a better living standard here, or have an opportunity to work, to earn. So that is known as migration. And what are the reasons because of which people have to leave their hometown and they have to settle the other place? Because no one wants to leave their house, no one wants to leave their family, but still they have to do that. The reason, is it economic factors, social factors, or political factor? What do you think? What are the reasons why people have to migrate? Okay, apart from that, like if I'm talking about at the time of COVID-19 pandemic, we have seen that India has faced reverse migration. Okay, reverse migration India has faced. Now, what this reverse migration was, from urban to people were going back to the rural area. This was the reverse migration we were facing at the time of pandemic, because in the urban area there was no option for them to earn, there were no option for them to pay their rents, because they used to work daily, they used to earn daily, then they used to feed themselves. But at the time of lockdown, the migrant laborers have no option, they have no choice. So how they will be able to do that? That's why in that situation we have faced that the Indian people in the country, reverse migration happened. From urban to people who are going in the rural area, and they started demanding your jobs in the Manrega scheme of Government of India that provide a certain days of guaranteed employment. Now, so if we talk about the migration, economic factor, obviously you do not have job opportunities there, so that's why people have to leave. Second, social reason, maybe your cultures are different, the area where you are living, you are the only person who belongs to that particular religion. That's why, because the cultures are different, that's why you have to leave. Apart from that, maybe the law and order of that particular area is not supporting you. They have a XYZ community people more in that rural area, and they are supporting them, and they are not providing you justice when the others are doing wrong with you. In that situation, what happens? Simply migration happens. So the right answer will be D. All are the reasons because of which people have to migrate from one to another place. Now, dash sector is driving the majority of economic growth. Knowledge intensive service sector, labor intensive industrial sector. So what do you think, which sector is driving the majority of economic growth? So major economic growth comes from the knowledge intensive service sector or a labor intensive industrial sector. Let me know. Which of the following is correct? Okay, so the right answer here will be knowledge intensive service sector. As we know, they provide more contribution to the national income. They provide more contribution to the growth of the country. So right answer will be A option. Next question we have, RBI supports the economic growth through the supply side factors or a demand side factors. If I talk about RBI, RBI is the central bank of our country, right? Now RBI supports the economic growth through what? It helps the country. Like for example, we know RBI formulates monetary policy. RBI formulates what? Monetary policy. Okay. And this monetary policy which RBI is formulating, this monetary policy formulated to have a price stability in the country. So it's not like RBI is making monetary policy to control inflation. No, RBI formulate monetary policy for the price stability. If the prices are high, RBI's responsibility is to reduce them. If the prices are low, it's RBI's responsibility to increase them. So RBI has to maintain the price stability in the economy. But why we maximum number of times listen that RBI creates monetary policy to control inflation? Because in maximum number of time in our country, the prices were rising. And then RBI, to maintain the price stability, have to make them down. So how RBI is doing that? RBI increases monetary policies rates. That will decrease money supply in the market. That will decrease the people's demand. If RBI decreases the policy rate, it means loans become cheaper. When the loans become cheaper, people will have more money. They will demand more goods. So this is how RBI controls the economy with the help of increasing or decreasing money supply. Okay, by changing in the policy rates. Now, if the demand is more, what happen? You will produce more goods and services. If you are producing more goods and services, your GDP will increase. If your GDP is increasing, your economic growth will increase. And that's what we needed in this question. So what RBI do? RBI supports the economic growth with the help of demand side factors. I hope it is clear. So RBI helps in the demand side factor to have the economic growth, because supply will not be provided by RBI. Now that's the responsibility of the government. RBI will not go in the market and start producing goods and services. RBI will create the demand. On the basis of that, RBI will help in the economic growth. Okay, now the solution to jobless growth is, so we know that India is having a jobless growth. We know that India is having the job seekers country. So this is the problem we have. How to solve this problem? How to make this jobless growth to convert in a growth in which jobs are available? Now, to encourage entrepreneur instance through programs such as the Startup India, Stand Up India, reform the education system to develop the desired skill sets. Third, promote labor intensive industries such as the food processing, textile, etc. So which of the following should be done to increase the or to remove the jobless growth in the country? Let me know. So right answer here is all. All are the method by which you will promote the jobs availability in the country. So all are the way by which jobless growth can be ignored or can be eliminated. So the right answer will be your D option. Okay, so this is how the issues which Indian economy is facing we have discussed in form of MCQs with the explanation of the topic. But apart from that, it's very obvious it's not the whole syllabus of your particular chapter. For more coverage of the chapter, you can go and check the Mahapack 2.0. That is right now available with the 81% discount and double validity. Now, how to enroll? Just to enroll, first of all, do download the Adda 24/7 application if you haven't done it yet. And then go to the JAIIB CIB section here. Click to the JAIIB October 2023 and then you can see JAIIB Mahapack 2.0 is available. This is the Mahapack. First, do check the offering, what offers this particular Mahapack to all of you. Then check the validity you want, 6 plus 6 or 12 plus 12. Accordingly, then click on the buy now option and enter a code August 80 that you can see here, AUG80. It will provide you 80% discount. And if you want 1% additional discount, for that you have to use the coins that is available on the application. This is your code. So this is how you can enroll in a Mahapack 2.0 of JAIIB that will provide everything which you require to clear the paper. And if you face any kind of issue at the time of enrolling, this is the number given to you on a screen. You can call on this number and ask your query here. Okay. And apart from that, those candidates who are here with me live in the session, do let me know how many answers you have given correct. Also, those who are watching the session recorded, always after the session ends, let me know in the comment section how much questions you have answered, how many questions you have answered correct, so that I will be knowing that how much better performance you are going on, how much better preparation of yours are going on. Okay, so do make sure, let me know about your marks all the time. And also, if you haven't downloaded the 24/7 application, do download the application. Also subscribe the channel. Offices are at 24/7, in which you will find all the sessions notification if you press the bell icon also. Okay, and this session regarding Indian economy, Indian financial system for English medium candidates is going on Monday to Friday only on Offices are at 24/7 in the morning, that is 7:30 AM. Okay, and we have started 50 days 50 series because now only 50 days are remaining to prepare for the JIB paper. So be very active, be very serious about your preparation, and make sure after completing the concept, do not forget to practice the questions. Okay, so that's all for today, and we will meet tomorrow again at the 7:30 AM for the Indian economy, Indian financial system, and for the PPB at 7 AM. Okay, only on Offices at 24/7. So thank you all for joining the session and have a great day, everyone.